How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they're worth the buy or maybe pass. My name is Corey. I'd just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that can talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt, all right? Guys, let's get into the video today. We have, of course, we're going to talk about a few stocks. I do want to talk about AMC really quick. AMC is looking mighty fine. So let's take a look over here at the price action, right? So on Friday, we were up 4.12%. On the day, which is just amazing. Right, currently in pre-market, we were up an additional 3%. We're currently sitting at $42.98. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I do have a little idea over here because these are the one-day candles, but very macroscopically, I could say. We can see here a double bottom, right? It's looking like it's toward the upside. And if I really think if we pass that, 43.56 about, if we pass that, then, and it looks like we could have like some kind of gap fill over here where we would go like to potentially even 44. If we were to do that, then I think that all bets are off. I think at that point we're at a pretty serious level over here. We do have a microscopic, or I should say macroscopic level of support right here that's looking very nice, where we had our double bottom around 34.61. We can see here, I know I have a lot of lines on here, just ignore the lines. I'll show you which ones I'm talking about. And if we look where we are over here, we have this huge level of well, currently resistance, but if we can turn this level of resistance, this green one, into a level of support, I want to see us break through that with a large candle and bounce off of it, right? I want to bounce off of it, and I want it to go to the, basically use this candle. Wait, where'd my candle go? Yeah, use this candle as a level of support, resistance, and turn it into a level of support. That's what I'm trying to say. And so if we get that, I should make this one green actually. So there we go. So we get this, I think that'll be pretty huge. That's exactly what I'm going to be looking for in the next couple of days. Maybe even today. We're getting close as it is to 42. We need to hit 43.56 about. And so if we break through that, that's going to be I'm going to be very excited for that. A lot of great things going on. Adam Aaron had a news catalyst about the popcorn and stuff like that. I mean, not too big of a deal, but any kind of news that brings people back to the stock, then they see it run like this, people FOMO in. That's what I'm looking for, right? I think this is going to be a huge play. I think the volume needs to pick back up a little bit. More recently, what's the volume been at? Actually, the volume hasn't been too bad. I'm looking for like something like 100 million volume. I think whenever we get one of those days, see like 100 million volume here, we had, wait, is that 100 million? My goodness, yep. Whenever we had 100 million volume, we had a plus, where'd it go? Plus 7% day, right? And I have noticed a correlation with the volume and the price. More volume typically means like a green day. And so that's what I'm looking for here, right? Let's go and take a look at AMC on Ortex. So we can see here, free float on loan, still kind of trading sideways, as we can see over here. But, that's okay. I'm okay with this. I think it's going to still be a long-term play. I'm still in the play. I haven't changed at all, but I think it's good. And then also the utilization kind of teetering back. It was going all the way up, and then we had a few good days over here. We can see T+2 over here was a 5. No, that would be over here. It was negative 1.81%, but the day before was 5.16%. And so, and then Friday being plus 4%. Okay, so everything looking pretty good on AMC. I know the Ortex data is kind of like sideways, which it's been for a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I'm fine holding, and I'll continue to do so. Let's talk about Progenity, right? I'm loving Progenity. Progenity was weird because on Friday it said they returned 11 million shares, and let's see if it's reflected, if that's reflected in Ortex. Over here we can see we are at T+2 for Progenity from this plus 15% day. Which is huge. I mean, yeah, very nice. So let's see what happened on Ortex. And so we go to Progenity for Ortex. We can see, so let's go ahead and just start with the shares on loan, because the shares on loan, well, I haven't really been looking at the shares on loan. I've been looking at the free float on loan. And the free float on loan, what we can see over here, hasn't really jumped that 11% that we would have seen. I think it was at 33 million on Friday. But if they return 11 million shares, it would go to 22 million essentially. So that might be a T+2 update that we'll see tomorrow. I'm very anxious for tomorrow to see if this does update to that to that number that we saw. If it doesn't, then that'll be very, very, very interesting as far as the Ortex reporting goes. That would be very, very interesting to see what happens there. Okay, but currently, we'll stick with what the data we currently have. We can see free float on loan is at 50%. Of the stock essentially is on loan, which is ridiculous. Utilization is at 96.51%. It is down a little bit, but as we've seen historically, like there hasn't been any kind of crazy price movement. Obviously it has been going crazy, but usually what we see is it drops, to 94, 95, and then it bounces back up to like 99, 100. So I'm really not too worried about it. I would not be surprised in the least bit if tomorrow it went all the way up to 100, or tomorrow it went all the way, somewhere. Yeah, I'm still good in my position. Like I said, tomorrow I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what is going on with the stock, so we can cover it, so we can see what's going on and see my opinions on it. Short interest, kind of all the way down here at 35%, but still, in my opinion, as you know, I think it's a threshold and I think it's okay. Let's talk about BBIG. BBIG is one that I, based on the numbers that I've been looking at, I'll show you these numbers. I think they're going to take off very, very, very soon. I think they're nearing their bottom if they haven't hit it already. Oh, okay. And this is exactly what I was thinking. So, I was going to add to my position, but I'm actually pretty happy with my position and I'm okay not adding. But whenever you see this, it's like, well, hindsight is 2020, right? And so this is why I think this is a great time for me to talk about, taking a position. Everybody wants to find the perfect lowest, very, very bottom that they can take their position. And obviously, it's very clear that is very impossible to do, right? It's impossible. It's very, very difficult. The best you can do is probably take a position and average down, right? That is like, and even then, if you take your position, and then you're not happy with your position and then it takes off, well, it's like, well, I should have put all my money. So, there are a few different ways that you can take your positions. And so definitely keep that in mind whenever you're looking at these stocks, like, PROG, and you're like, oh, like it's, or, even BBIG, AMC, whatever you think. Because if it takes off before you even have your position, well, now what? Now you're going to buy in super high whenever you could have bought in, whenever you're trying to save 2 pennies a share or something. So just keep that in mind with this. And I think this is a great example of you never know when they're going to take off. I had an inkling that it was going to take off, and I'll show you exactly why I thought it was going to take off very, 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 very soon. Perfect example. Perfect. So let's take a look at BBIG. So this is exactly why I thought it was going to take off. Look at the shares on loan. It's at an all-time high, right? So I didn't think there was going to be much more time that it was going to continue to run, but sometimes the all-time high keeps growing and growing and growing, and it takes a little longer because the stock keeps going down as they continue to borrow more shares and they short them against the stock, right? One of the things to really look out for is that utilization. You can see when the utilization is at 100%, which it was at 100%, has been at 100% for 2 days now, that typically, not all the time, but you can see that, it's more likely, I should say, that the stock is going to take off. And so this stock, it took off. Now, who knows what it's going to look like tomorrow, if it's going to retrace or what have you. But, positions, taking a position can be tricky and scary. But, if you really believe in the stock, then that's a play you're going to have to make. OCGN, I'm not going to take a look at it I'll take a quick look at it in Webull, but I do want to cover it very, very quickly because we can see here, boom, like all the way, these crazy run up and crazy retracement, right? A negative 20% day on this would have been Wednesday. This is Thursday over here, down 20% on Thursday. And then, this run was essentially canceled and went all the way up and all the way down. So let's see what that does to the Ortex data, right? Especially with this, we're doing the T+2 for the negative 20% day. And let's take a look at the free float on loan. Okay, free float on loan, actually, not too crazy compared to where it was before, right? So free float on loan, 37.60%, previously 40% of at the all-time high, right? It was 40.95, so 41% of the free float was on loan. It's not too bad. Like, I thought this was gonna be, I was afraid this was gonna be much worse, but it's not looking too bad. We'll see which way it goes in the short run, in the short time, and we'll see where it goes in the meantime. And in the short term is the word I was looking for, and see what happens. Let's take a look at the utilization, because I am curious. Wow, it looks like it may bounce over here off this like 94.66%. We'll see which way it goes tomorrow, but very, very interesting price action over here. ATER. So this one, I mean, I'm just gonna watch it because I'm baffled. I'm very confused as to what happened with ATER. We do know there's naked shorting going on in the stock, some serious manipulation going on. The CEO is looking at it, and we'll see if he's able to take any kind of action or what happens there, right? So we can see ATER has been having some rough days. The T+2 that we're going to be looking at is negative 3.5% day, but realistically, this stock has been plummeting for a little bit. I really thought this was going to be the bounce right here. Unfortunately, it was a bull trap, and I think I got caught over here or something, but that's okay. I'm just going to hold strong and stick with my position. I mostly want to see if it plays out, because if it plays out and the shorts are able to get squoze or caught or whatever it would be, then that could be a nice payout. Or maybe they I don't know, depending on when they took their position, if they shorted it up here, they could have just exited their position and, I don't know. Well, then again, they said that they're currently naked shorting going on. So I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I'm trying to just play devil's advocate to myself, but we'll have to see the way that this one plays out. Let's take a look at the utilization all the way down here at 67.89%, which is definitely not what I want to see whenever I'm looking at a stock that I have a nice position in. But so I'm gonna hold strong there and see what happens. Shares on loan. Let's take a look over here. Oh wait, that's gonna be. Oh yeah, we'll look at the free float on loan instead. It's gonna be the same kind of number, but it's all the way down here at 36%, which realistically down here from 36%, it was at 89% at its peak. And this is what doesn't make any sense, because it went from 89% to 34%, 36%, 30%, and there was no if they would have covered those shares, then this stock should have been, I mean, in my opinion, it's currently at $5. I mean, the stock probably should have been at $100 if they would have covered that many shares, right? Let me see the total amount of shares from 17 million to 7 million. We've seen stocks whenever they cover, 1 million, the stock doubles or something, right? Up 50%. And so for it to go that, for the free float on loan, for the shares on loan to change that much without it being green, like all the way up here, that is crazy to me, and that doesn't make any sense. Definitely extremely confused as to what's happening with this. It just does not add up, okay? And I would just want to be clear at that. And I'm going to continue to watch this stock because it just doesn't make sense. Something doesn't add up. And I'm continuing to watch the CEO to see if he has any updates on what may have happened or what may be happening, right? It's almost like he called them out and they're just like, now they're really messing with them. But I don't know. Who knows? And so that's mostly what I want to talk to you guys about. This is something that I'm very obviously passionate about. I want to show you guys something really, really quick, and then I'll let you go because this is something that I've been looking at. So these are the most heavily shorted stocks, basically. And this is my own personal formula that I've been using, and it's actually been working freaking very, very well. And I'm gonna make a separate video on this. So I'm gonna cover this like 2 seconds. And I want to show you guys that Progenity right here is currently at the very, very, very tippy top of this. And this is based off the cost to borrow. So I want to see how expensive it is for these shorts to hold their positions. And So let's say there's a few of these stocks that people that we're like the apes are in, like, or especially my channel, that you guys are in, that you guys are always asking about. And I want to cover a few of those. If you see a stock on here that, well, I'm going to do this in another video, but if you see a stock on here that, you know, a lot of people want to cover, you know, someone write it in the comments, and then people upvote it or something, because, or if you know of a news catalyst that may be coming for some of these stocks, let me know, because that's super interesting, right? I think if any of these have a large news catalyst, I think any of them will run based on how heavily shorted these positions are and how risky they are for the shorts. So we can see Progenity, BBIG, Smile Direct Club, Tattooed Chef. I remember that one. That one was pretty popular. Not too many people talk about it on my channel, but yeah, Tattooed Chef people like. Well, we haven't talked about it recently, at least. Workhorse, I have a position in here. OCGN, Beyond Meat, Nikola, Lordstown Motors, Tilray, and our mother effing favorite, AMC, right? And so AMC is at the bottom here, but it still made the cutoffs. There's a lot of cutoffs that have to be in here. Utilization, the percentage of the free float that are on loan, things like that, cost to borrow. So like there are cutoffs that, you know, stocks don't make this list. And you know, these are the stocks that I have all my largest positions in. Literally 99% of my portfolio are in these. Maybe 100%. I think 100% of my portfolio are in these stocks right here. And as we've seen, it doesn't take too much to tip those scales and make these stocks go for a crazy run. I know here's the deal. I know it's hard to hold sometimes, but you know, whenever, you know, you get that, like that payout, it's just, for me personally, it's always worth it. Like, I'm sure it's always worth it for everyone whenever you get the payout, but you know, it's just a matter of time. And you know what, if I had to wait a year, 2 years to get a 1000% payout, for me it's worth it. It's worth it. Remember, most people that trade in the stock market, they're looking for a good year for them is like 30%. A crazy good year for them is 30%. Most traditional retail investors are happy with, you know, 15 to 20% a year, you know. And I've already gotten thousands of percentage from AMC as it is, so I am way ahead of where I thought I would be, and so I am perfectly fine holding these stocks as long as I need to until something gives. And I'm telling you, I personally believe something is going to give very, very soon, and so I will continue to hold. Confirmation bias just super in effect here whenever I look at these things. Okay, but that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.